What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Between the Circles. I'm your host, JC Zargo, here to talk about today's NHL slate. So go ahead, grab your coffee, and let's start talking some hockey. So our second installment of the show. Last Tuesday was Halloween. There was like 3 games, so I didn't find it worthy to do a show, but we're locked in. Going to be here every Tuesday. Might open up another day during the week to do this. These morning shows work really well for my schedule. However, not having goalies official makes handicapping a little bit more challenging. So that might be something we look to change in the future. However, I'm here. I'm happy, excited about hockey. For those in the chat, feel free to drop any questions you got, whether it's about hockey, the sport, betting hockey, whatever. Whether you're new, been doing this for a while, nothing I love more than talking betting, and hockey's probably my favorite sport to bet on. Had a slow start to the season, having trouble finding the winners. It's just, that's part of the groove. You're going to have some losing skids. You hope they come, you don't want to start the season with them, but hopefully we get out of the way and start to roll. Now that we got a better feel of what these teams are doing this season, how they're playing, I'm excited. I'm excited to get rolling. So we'll just jump right into it. First game on my slate, I got Buffalo visiting the Carolina Hurricanes. Could be a high scoring one. Canes have been not the team that we saw last season. They're shooting like they are. They're not scoring and blowing out opponents quite like last season. However, it is still very early, so I'm sure they'll get that adjusted. That 7-5 record, I would expect them to be at least a little bit better to this point. However, it's where they are. Winning record is still a good place to be at this point in the season. Are they in top of their conference? I don't think they're top of their conference. Where are they? Yeah. They're behind the Rangers and the Devils. Cameras. Sorry about that. Hang on, give me 1 second. Maybe not. I don't know. Sorry, it's a little blurry. Well, that should adjust. Here we go. There we go. Sorry about that. Yeah, so Carolina Hurricanes. Oops. They haven't played since the 4th. They were in New York, played the Rangers and the Islanders, split those games, beat the Islanders, lost to the Rangers. Now they're home, take on Buffalo. They're on a little bit of a road trip. But they had a weird stop. They were in Philly, came home, went to Toronto. Now they're here in Carolina, and then they'll go to Minnesota. So with their 6-6 record, they're not what they want to be. This Buffalo team, it seems like a couple of years now we've been expecting, especially after last season, kind of expecting them to kind of put it together, be hot, but they're just, I don't know, they're kind of all over the place. We've seen, they beat Toronto 6-4, but then they lose to Philly 5-1. So they're just all over the place. They beat Colorado 4-0, and then they lost to Philly. Oh, no, they beat Philly 5-2. Yeah, so they're on a nice stretch here. What I'm getting at, but just inconsistency, not something that's gonna work in the long run for this team as they try to become a cup contender. 2 teams though love to shoot the puck, so that's kind of what I'm targeting here is the shots on goal props, and that's likely going to lead to an over. That number being it's over 6.5 right now, but I'm seeing like minus 130, and I'm not taking those odds to see 7 goals. Probably will, but that's just not worth it. And I don't know if I want to get up to 8 to bump it up to get to price point that's worth it. So I think the shots are going to be a much better approach on this one. Try to pull up those numbers, or simply the saves. Either, but we don't have the save props up because goalies aren't official. Obviously, those will affect the numbers a little bit. That's what I'm going to be targeting here. Expecting both these teams to shoot a lot, expect some goals. I don't mess around too much with goal scoring props just because the predictability isn't there. And then if you want to go with, a top tier guy, the payout's just not worth it. I'm not saying never, just not my favorite thing. And the expected goalies in this one, Levy for Buffalo, and then I know Anderson's out indefinitely, so man, I never know how to say his name. Ranita? I don't know. You guys know what I'm talking about. Hurricanes goalie will definitely be in between the pipes because they don't really have any other options. So pending something crazy happening to him, that's who will be. Now, what are his numbers this season? Real quick, sorry, stop pulling up for me. It's 3-1. Averaging 3 goals, allowing 3 goals a game. Kind of some nasty work though, because if he was in net for both the San Jose games, one of them was a shutout, allowed 3 in the other, allowed 7 to Seattle, 3 to the Islanders, 3 to the Ducks. So I don't love it. So I'll definitely. This could be a good spot. This could be a good spot for Buffalo. Minus 172. Yeah, it's Buffalo for pass for me on this one. They're playing really well, but it is in Carolina, right? And we know how hard it is to win at PNC Arena. Carolina's 3-0 at home, so that's kind of why I don't have a hard take on this one, right? If this was in Buffalo, I would definitely be all over Buffalo, but a lot of shots on goals. Don't have Anderson in net. Buffalo's hot. Carolina's not. That's, just my thinking. So personally, should be a fun game, be a good one to watch, but I'd recommend staying away unless you want to, except for the shot props in Buffalo, if you are so bold. Moving on, we got the Tampa Bay Lightning at the Montreal Canadiens. Jake Allen, I believe, is expected in net, and Tompkins for Tampa. Excuse me. Tompkins yet to pick up a win this season for Tampa Bay, despite their 5-3-4 record. He's responsible for 2 of their losses. Allen, he's been incredible. Definitely performing better than he was last season. I know it's early though, but he's 3-1, allowing less than 3 goals a game, 93% save percentage. He's been a stud. Fun. They've been definitely playing better than they were last season, but that is a very low bar for Montreal. These, I don't think they played yet this season. Head to head. Yeah. Last season, Tampa Bay won 3 of their 4 meetings, but Montreal took that last one. Historically, I mean, Tampa Bay owns this team, but that's really not saying much because Tampa Bay has been so great in recent years and Montreal's been so terrible. So not much stock to put in there. Given with expecting Tompkins in that, I assume that's the reason for this line because Montreal's on a 3-game losing streak. They do return home, and those 3 losses were on the road, kind of a West Coast trip. But I mean, Tampa Bay dropped that OT winner. They lost in overtime to Toronto last night. So I think I think my play here is Montreal first period. I can kind of see this game going either way. Seeing Tampa as such a small favorite here is enticing, but I could also see Montreal coming out on top. So we know one of my favorite bets in hockey is the first period when a team is coming off back-to-back. So let me better phrase that. when two teams are playing a game, one of them is coming off a back-to-back, bet that team to lose the first period. Other factors at play here, especially like with Tompkins and that, that's a really easy bet here. And I don't like to go overload this early in the season. Like we're not gonna have a play for every game. Maybe when we get later in the season, I'll have something closer to that. But right now, I'm just looking for a few solid bets, especially as I try to get out of this losing skid in the NHL. So periods. Let me get you the odds on that. I think that's gonna be the way to go here. First period money line. Montreal plus 104, even money. I'm gonna go ahead and add that to the sheet right now. For you guys that don't follow, Nuke the House, man, we're winning a lot of people a lot of money across like every single sport. Something that really attracted me to Nuke the House is, I mean, no reputable handicapper is going to be giving out like minus 150 plays or anything like that. But what I like about Nuke the House is there's very few non-plus money plays. Like we're a group of guys, we do our research and we find the big payouts, and so it's a lot of them are even money or better. I mean, yesterday, if you watched me and Tyler talking touchdowns, one of our best bets was, oh my goodness, blanking on his name now. Oh my, who scored 2 touchdowns? That would have been Keenan Allen. Oh my goodness, bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. Eckler. Don't know why I can think of his name. Austin Eckler to score. We talked 1, 2, and 3 TDs for him. So 1 we thought was complete lock, so we took the juice on that. Had solid plus money on the 2, and we even took a stab at 3. And 3 is playing out 25-1. So those are the type of stuff we look for, we give out, and we're extremely profitable. So completely free. Check out the website. Check out the Twitter. Picks posted there for free, and you'll get some crazy plus money plays. It's not, and there's no 5-unit plays, none of that crap. They're all 1.1 if it's just a money line play. But that's what I really love about Nuke the House. We're winning people big money. I'll move mine to a win. Yesterday, only play I had yesterday because of the small slate. I took Boston money line. That paid out for us. So glad to see another win. I needed it. And I've had this, as I said, this slow start to the season. That's another 1.2 units because that was a wonderful, that was a plus 120 play. So 11-7 NHL. Tampa Bay, Montreal, first period, Montreal, plus 104. I might check another book so I can get a better odds, but FanDuel right now, that's what I'm seeing. And if you're not familiar with all the books, FanDuel is really good if you want to bet favorites. They give you a little bit better odds on favorites, but if you're looking at dogs, you're not going to get the best number. So FanDuel is great because they have FanDuel and DraftKings have by far the most offerings for anything you could want to bet. But with FanDuel, you don't always get the bet plus money option. So I'm going to see what DraftKings has real quick. First period. Here we go. First period, Montreal. Okay, yeah, no, they're all right there. So a little bit better on DraftKings. Send it better. But that's our first play of the day, y'all. I'm such a large play today. I'm not going to go over every single game just because I don't have that much to say about them. Again, this early in the season, spent a lot of time. I spent a lot of time on basketball and football as well. So I haven't even watched. I have not seen every team play this season. So I'm not gonna, give you bad advice. I'm not gonna be a box score hero. Talk about what I see, what I know, and that's how we're gonna get winners. So Minnesota at Islanders. I mean, obviously the under is always in consideration when with the Islanders. However, Varlamov is in net, not Sorokin. So yeah, Varlamov probable. Flurry confirmed. All right, we'll take this one. I was going to dig in this one, but with knowing who's in net, that makes it a little bit easier, guys. I apologize for my dogs in the background. I'm going to handle that real quick. I got this nice new mic, and it's pretty great, the sound quality. Okay, picks up way more background noises. So when my dogs are running around on these hardwood floors, it gets a little annoying. It does. It does. So again, this I like the goalie matchup here though. So when I saw this game on the slate, it didn't really intrigue me. But let's dig into these numbers. Minnesota 4-5-1-1. They just split with the Rangers in Jersey. They were home. So they lost the Devils, lost in a shootout to the Rangers at home. Now they go to New York to play the Islanders, and then they'll have another one with the Rangers. That Rangers one will be a nice one to look at. I like you can find good value when teams play back to back like that. Not always, but sometimes it's kind of different numbers are available, different things you can look at. We'll get into that one of these days when we have a game like that, but I'm not going to bore you with that right now. The Islanders, as we already said, coming off an OT loser to the Hurricanes, beat Washington, lost to Detroit. So yeah, they're not playing the best hockey. Let me look at Fleury's 2-2-0-1. Look at Varlamov's numbers. I don't know how many games he's played. Well, I know he's played like 7 games. No, not even. Maybe he's played 3. I don't know where. Oh, those are short the wrong way. Varlamov win. Wow. Huh. Last 2 games were shutout. He shut out Washington. He shut out Columbus, and then his first game of the season. Huh. Played some great hockey. I mean, granted, that was Washington and Columbus, so I mean, not it's not like it's a Boston and Toronto shutout, but a shutout respectable. It's respectable no matter who you're playing. And Washington and Columbus, I mean, those guys, they can shoot the puck. It's yeah. I think I like the Islanders here. Yeah, I really like the Islanders, and I'm really gonna like some Varlamov props. I don't know if they're posted yet because he is not confirmed. How about just the Minnesota over/under? Minnesota total goals. Under 2.5. Yeah, that's crazy. The Islanders are the favorite. The over/under is 5.5. Yeah, and Minnesota's under is 2.5, but it's playing out plus 120. Those are crazy odds. Like those don't quite add up. 6 goals, 2-3. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why that's so. Like I'd expect the over/under for them to be 2.5, but I would not expect a plus 120 payout. That seems a little bit high. Any better on DraftKings? Sweet. Okay, Varlamov. If you want to get crazy, Varlamov to record another shootout, paying out 11-1. Wouldn't blame anyone. Yeah, no, dude, this is crazy juiced on FanDuel. Because DraftKings has Varlamov under 2.5 goals paying out minus 125. But if we just go on FanDuel and take Minnesota under 2.5 goals, that's paying out plus 120. I knew that didn't quite add up. Definitely jump on that right now before that changes, because that's got to be some kind of an error. So that's a great play. That's tremendous value. I'm going to add that to the sheet as well. Minnesota, New York. All right, another play for the sheet. Love it, love it. I would just stick with that. You know, you can take. I mean, obviously, there's 4.5 under the Islanders is a great bet as well, but you're basically betting the same thing. And you're not getting as good of odds, and there's always a chance. I mean, you can place it as insurance, but again, I just think that's completely unnecessary. It's not how I gamble. Like you're all basically betting the same thing with whether you're taking the 60-minute line, the money line. You can just find this at plus 120. It's better odds than all those other bets, and it's basically same thing's going to happen. If that makes sense to y'all, that's how I analyze these things. Man, it's cool. Yeah, sweet. I've been using Fanatics Sportsbook recently, and they got Minnesota under 2.5 for plus 120. I kind of like it. So it's PointsBet rebranded, and so it's Fanatics. It's, the face of it, kind of like Barstool did with Penn. They do pretty solid promos. Like their rewards are pretty cool, which I don't hate. Which is a nice benefit is what I'm getting at. Decent, pretty solid offerings, right there with everyone else. Not quite on that FanDuel DraftKings level, but they offer most everything. I like the lines. It's a nice interface. So yeah, so I would just place them there. Little plug, something a little bit different. It's, they had crazy promos when the NFL season launched, so I just got on because of those. I ended up with like a few $100s of bonus bets because of the promos they had running. So that'll get me on your sportsbook every time. Anyways, sweet. That was a nice little surprise. I wasn't planning to dig too much into that game. So next game, Detroit Rangers. Also, okay, sweet. Okay, this you'll go in an hour, 2 hours later really makes a difference here. We got Husso confirmed against Jonathan Quick. Rangers are pretty heavy here, which I don't know if I agree with because Detroit's been playing great hockey. I mean, Rangers have been phenomenal this season, but Detroit's been playing great hockey as well. So I don't. This could be a good look. Quick is 2-0. Husso is 5-2. However, Husso is 5-2. He's had some ugly games, and that offense has kind of picked him up. Wow. I am so sorry, y'all. I got. Oh, never mind. I was getting a call that I had to take, but I was not. Okay, Husso. Yeah, like he picked up that win in Boston a few days ago, but it was 5-4. Yeah, he's not been great. This offense is really bailing him out. What's the over under? That's more likely 6.5. Ugh. It's not terrible. Yeah, plus 106 on the over. Rangers. Again, coming off that shutout loss against shootout, not shutout, shootout loss against Minnesota. Returning home. Detroit coming off that big win against Boston. To be shut out by Florida. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if the Detroit offense can show up because that's what they're going to have to do. They have to win in a similar fashion. But they did to beat Boston. So, hang on. Oh, no. What the heck are you doing? I'm like, I have really well-behaved dogs except for when I'm not around. And so when I'm not here, they'll do absolutely anything. They'll go nuts. If you leave something on the counter, they'll take it. But when I'm around, like they know to behave themselves. But I'm sitting right here and I see my dog go grab something off the table. It's like, buddy, they're weird. They're great dogs. So, yeah, maybe take a what's the Rangers over under? Because Quick's been solid, so I'd hate to take the over 6.5 and then see the Rangers win like 5-1. I think that's a real possibility with Husso between the pipes. Rangers total goals 3.5 minus 140. Yeah, no value here. Sorry guys. Rangers. Over 3.5 plus 110. Plus minus 140. Score 4 goals. I don't hate that. That's not cheat worthy, but Rangers over 3.5 goals plus 110. That's a decent play. If you want something on this game, you're going to the game, you want to watch it, whatever. That would probably be my one play there. All right, 6 games left on the slate. Not going to touch on them all. I'm going to try and keep this to like this show to like 30 to 45 minutes. Still trying to find a groove and a pace for it. So let me know what we all like. My model as it stands, kind of just most of this information I'm thinking out loud, going through my thought process when I make picks, kind of give you guys a little bit of an education on how I do that. Allow for feedback, get your guys' thoughts instead of just doing all this research beforehand. But I might change it up. Kind of depends on what the people like. Let me know. I can do, like I said, something a little bit more scripted because I can do all my research the night before and then just regurgitate that information. But I kind of like, the idea of getting y'all involved, a little more call and response type show. But so I'm not, I don't want you to think I'm coming in here ill prepared. This was kind of my plan and design for the show. Doing it by myself, it's, kind of got to approach it a little bit differently than something like talking touchdowns are going to be a rundown where it's an open forum discussion. Oh, Tyler in the chat. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, so some plays on the sheet for you, man. If you want to get involved in the action. But yeah, let's jump into the next game. I'm thinking, what do I want to discuss next? I'm trying to see if we got any goalies confirmed for the late slates now. That's the other thing. Start cracking Coyotes because this is stuff I really like. Coyotes at home just completely changes how a game is handicapped. So for those of you that don't know, Coyotes, they don't have an arena. They're playing in Mullet Arena, which is the college hockey stadium for Arizona State. And it's like, it's a tiny college arena. It's not going to be expected. I don't know how many it sits. Probably less than 5,000, but it's like just like a lower bowl. So any other stadium, there's no upper deck, anything, just the lower bowl. That's all that's there. And so it's tiny. And for some reason, visiting teams have a terrible time playing there. So the Coyotes are just a terrible, terrible team, but they have this insane home ice advantage. And it really sucks for the Coyotes because if they could field a good team and then play in this arena, they could be nasty. Oh my gosh. Like I can't even imagine how pissed the NHL would be if the Coyotes had to host a playoff game at Mullet Arena. It'd be phenomenal. But Ingram's in net for the Coyotes. He's 3-1. He's been solid between the pipes this season. He is confirmed. Okay, Grubauer is unconfirmed for Seattle. Seattle doing a little 2-game road trip. They just play 2 at home in Arizona. Then they go to Colorado. This is a team too that's not playing to the standards we saw last season. And Arizona playing some weird games. So they beat Chicago 8-1 at home, which again, Chicago is, well, they're not, Chicago's its own kind of beast right now. They beat Montreal 3-2, but then they lost in Anaheim, and then they lost on the 4th to Winnipeg at home. So all that to say, not much. Doesn't give us much inside details there. Pretty close to an even line. I'm not seeing anything stand out on how these teams are playing. I mean, Seattle did just drop a 3-6 loss at home against Calgary, so they're kind of hungry to get on the right track. Divisional games always also more fun. Oh no, they're not. Man, I always keep forgetting. I know it's been a couple years, but I still think the Coyotes are in the Pacific Division. But they are not. Yeah, no, Ingram and net. Just give me Arizona. Let me see what the best odds are. I'm liking Arizona. I'm gonna start with the money line and then see if I want to take a stab at the 60-minute line. -110. Pretty much everywhere. A little bit weird. So had that whole conversation about how FanDuel offers better odds for the favorite. Well, I guess it's because they don't think Arizona's the favorite. Weird. Pretty much everywhere else has -110 on the money line for either team, but FanDuel has -105 for Seattle and -114 for Arizona. Kind of interesting. I'll add that. Yeah, I'm gonna add that to the sheet. I like that play a lot. That might be. Yeah, I might add one more. One more play for the sheet. Seattle Coyotes. So normally in a game like this, I would just instantly go. I just get the better odds on the 60-minute line, because you'll get, if you bet on them to win in regulation, oh, that's the wrong game. You'll get better odds. So probably something close to +120, maybe not quite that good. I'll give you the odds right now. 60-minute line. Oh, +135. Geez, that's some crazy. So it's really tempting. And you do live wagers like the guys do on the weekends. Can you post your plays here? Oh, yes, I should absolutely post my plays in the comments. None of your freaking business. That's his name for those of you that are listening. Yeah, so I'm going to post those right now. Live, man, I'll get into that a little later in the season, probably. I'll get into live bets. But, I mean, my evenings are so hectic right now that it's a little hard. And I'll be honest, I'm watching. I mean, if it's a Monday or Thursday, I'm watching football. And then Wednesday slates. Wednesday, there aren't many hockey games. So, but basically, I'll say I can do that in the future. So definitely, I would look into, especially if there's a game I really like. But haven't done it yet. Also, just started with new house, and so kind of building platform and system, and kind of just figuring out still how want to do everything NHL. They pretty much just given it to me to run with. I did not realize I've had this NFL live line on in front of me this whole time. So basically, still just finding a groove, figuring out what works, what the people like, what the market is for hockey amongst current Nuke the House subscribers. Obviously, trying to grow it, and that's the whole point of me doing this. But yeah, once we get later into the season, I could definitely do some live betting. Minnesota under 2.5 goals. So my 3 plays I just posted in the comments. They're on the sheet on the Nuke the House page. I was saying about the 60-minute line. So right now I'm just taking the Coyotes money line minus 110. If we bet on them to win in regulation, you can get plus 135. I wouldn't blame anyone for doing that. Typically, I would take it because, like, I mean, that's a crazy odds difference just betting saying it's only going to go 3 periods. However, already this season, I've been burned by the 60-minute line. So it's just something I'm a little gun shy on at the moment as I'm trying to get back in the positive for NHL betting. And I don't want, like, it's so heartbreaking when you do that and then, the Coyotes win in a shootout. So basically, wouldn't blame anyone for taking out 135, but I'm just going to take the money line. I'm not going to get greedy with it right now. Let's do one more game. Minnesota St. or Winnipeg St. Louis. I got no interest in. Nashville Calgary. I got no interest in. Jersey Colorado. Jersey could be an interesting one there. Pittsburgh at Anaheim. That's a funny one too. So gosh, I'm a big Ducks fan. They've been playing surprisingly well this season. And Pittsburgh is on quite the losing streak right now. They've been playing terrible. Okay, yeah, of course, before anyone jumps on my throat about the game they're coming off of, they are coming off a 10-2 win over San Jose. I've never seen a double-digit hockey game before. Just a crazy, crazy win. But it's against San Jose. So that's like, beating up a college team. It's really not, doesn't say that much about your team. Okay, actually, but I forgot they just played. Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll dive into this game. So Pittsburgh is in Anaheim, and they were just there on October 30th. So no. Anaheim was in Pittsburgh. So Anaheim was in Pittsburgh. They beat the Penguins 4-3. Now the Pittsburgh Penguins are out west, had a colossal win over San Jose, and now they got the 5 series playing Anaheim tonight, and then the Kings on Thursday. So these, like I said, I really like looking at these games because it's like, it's, you don't just bet on the same thing to happen, but it's so easy to look at the numbers and there are less variables, basically what I'm saying, right? Because you look at, it's the same teams playing, it's current, so there's no, how they're playing right now is still is taken into account for when looking at these numbers. So in that 4-3 win, Anaheim was a heavy dog. We had Dostal and Jari in net. Expected tonight is Dostal and Jari. Expected, unconfirmed. So we got the same guys in net. It was a close game. Anaheim 3-2 at home. Yeah, I don't think Anaheim gets the repeat upset. These guys, they'll be buzzing after that 10-2 victory. They know that San Jose, and then playing the Anaheim team that just upset them. I think that's a pretty easy Pittsburgh bet because Anaheim just squeaked out that upset a few days ago. Yeah, like Anaheim scored. That's right. Pittsburgh had a lead going into the third period. Excuse me, it was tied. Yeah. Yeah, it was a weird third period. We had 3 goals in the third period, one of them coming early, one of them coming late. Kind of a weird third period. Pittsburgh's not going to let that happen again. Coming off this monster win, definitely. However, 60-minute line minus 120 for the Pens. Oh, that's not quite good enough for the sheet. Yeah. I like it, but I like our plays on the sheet better. I'm not going to add a fourth just to add a fourth. I also like keeping it to an odd number of plays. It's just kind of a thing of mine. Because, right, win 2 out of 3, we have a positive night. I throw a fourth on there, we split, you lose money. Probably be even because of the plus money plays we got, but I just like if I do 4, I want it to be 5. So I'm just keeping it 3, but that's definitely a decent play. I'll put it in the chat. Penguins 60-minute line minus 120. Solid play, just not quite cheat worthy with those odds. If it was closer to even money, I'd definitely do it. But I don't. It's a great play. That's all I'm going to say. It's a solid play. Things are definitely stacked in the right way for Pittsburgh. This one, but again, as I've said, got burned on a 60-minute line. So I'm just going to stay away from it. One more, because I was also interested. I was planning on talking the San Jose game, and then I got drawn into that Pittsburgh game. Philadelphia at San Jose. Yeah. San Jose. Man. Still haven't won a game. Or do they win one in overtime? Hang on. Oh, yeah. Excuse me. I mean, San Jose is a new level of that. Like, we were hating on the Blackhawks, the Ducks, and the Coyotes last season. And granted, there was a tankathon going on for Connor Bedard. But the Sharks have reached new levels, having lost 11 games, still hunting for their first win. I took them, I'm sure you all remember, it took them a couple weeks ago against Nashville. I didn't realize just how bad this team was, though. Well, eventually they got to get a win, and they're going to have their money line's only going to continue. So if we hit it right, we can get a solid payout. But I don't know. I mean, they're bad bats. For those of you that have not been following the Sharks, again, they've lost their first 11 games. Only twice have they scored more than 2 goals in a game. They lost to Carolina 6-3. They lost and then last night against Pittsburgh, they lost 10-2. And I forgot, yes, how short my memory is. The game before that, they lost to the Canucks 10-1. So over the last 2 games, their goal differential is 20-3. This is like no American sport has relegation, but the Sharks are the use case for team getting relegated. I don't know, like maybe the Vegas Silver Knights, maybe you bump those guys up. So I'll bet that team could beat the Sharks. Yeah, I mean, every time the Sharks are on the board, I'm just drawn in because they always have a huge plus money sign, and I'm like, is this it? Is this the game? I don't think this is it. Because you got to think, man, they got their ass kicked, like they're going to bounce back. But you would have said that about the Vancouver game. So Philly here, and Philly shoots the puck. Man, they're just losing skid though. I mean, yeah, they beat Buffalo 5-1. Oh man, I could talk myself into it, but I'm not going to. It's also not steep enough of a line. Jonathan Nilsson, what's up, dog? It's not steep enough of a line. I wouldn't be surprised if this is where the Sharks finally pick up a win, but I'm not gonna at plus 160. That's certainly not worth it. Yeah. And over 6.5 is minus 120. So no real good look there. I wonder what the here we go. This might be it. What's the Sharks team total? Oh, what the heck? Those odds are terrible. Sharks over 2.5 goals minus 135. So that might be a look if you're going to do it. You can take Sharks under 2.5 goals minus 105, which is that's bad. Right, like I said, only once this season have they scored 3 goals. They played some good teams though. Yeah, I'll throw that one in the comments. Sharks under 2.5 goals minus 105. Decent play. But again, yeah, I like that. If there are any questions, I'm going to get out of here. The other games, like I said, I just haven't watched those teams enough. The lines don't intrigue me, nothing crazy going on. So I don't want to go on forever. But there are 5 plays for y'all. 3 of them are on the sheet. And let me tell you something, the way these things work, those ones I don't put on the sheet will probably hit. That seems to be the way these things go. So Sharks and Penguins, those are probably ones you're going to want to end up playing. Those will hit with just how my season's going. Thank you all for joining me. We're going to do this every Tuesday. Still working out the perfect time, but this seems to be pretty good. Sorry for the confusion if you were on Twitter. We tweeted at 10. My miscommunication. I said 10 because I'm in Central Time, so that's what time I meant 10 Central. He posted 10 Eastern. That's my fault. I should have been clarified, but that's why there was potentially a delay. But yeah. So 11 Eastern is the time going forward on Tuesdays. Once we get rolling here, probably do a second show this week, in a week, not this week. And none of your freaking business asking. I might do some live. Give me a follow though on Twitter at Daddy Zargs, because if you want some live bets, I would always post them there. And give me a follow on TikTok at Daddy Zargs. Post some best bets there throughout the week across all sports. Occasionally post a funny TikTok or two. So I'm just a great follow. Just a heck of a guy to add to your timeline. But anyways, thank you for joining me. Comment if there's anything you want to see in the future. Any questions? Also, because we're doing this live, and I'm sure it's going to have way more playback views. Any questions? Tweet at me at Daddy Zargs, and I would also be more than happy to answer them. Whether you want to, confusion, a pick you want my opinion on, more than happy to help you all out. Have a great day.